What's good? What's good? What's good, YouTubers? What's good? What's going on? It's your boy, Stephen A. Chris. You know what I'm saying? The modern day sports reporter, Mr. Know It All, highly opinionated. You know, Mr. First Take, pause, can't use that. Second take, third take. Just got a lot of information to share with you guys. But basically, I was listening and hearing a lot of people say that, the comments that LeBron made, it's kind of crazy, saying he the greatest of all time. I get it. Everybody know the greatest of all time is number 23, man, Michael Jordan. For so many things he did to the game, fashion, you know, uh, blockbuster deals. He didn't really create it. He didn't really get paid. It was more so he was robbed, actually. What I'm saying? If he would have been playing today, he'd been $300 million player, a year type player. But, he brought a lot of trends to the game. But let me tell you something about being great. If that man felt like he was great and that was his greatest accomplishment, then you can't knock him for that. That's what he needs to say. You know what I mean? That's what he should say. Maybe he said it wrong in you guys' eyes or point of view, and he did say it wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because he overlooked a lot of players. I can't speak on Wilt. Never seen him play. Bill Russell. Never seen him play. A lot of these guys never seen him play. I can only speak on you know early '80s on to now. And Michael Jordan is definitely number one. Now, if LeBron wants to say he's the greatest in his draft class, hands down. If you want to say that he's better than Kevin Durant, definitely. If you want to say that he's the best player in the world right now, we all know he is. But, again, just because he said he's great, he feels like he's the greatest of all time, you can't knock him because you're supposed to wake up every morning feeling like you're great, feeling like the person you're laying next to is great, feeling like your kids is doing great things. It's nothing wrong with, making statements like that. You know what I mean? It could be looked at and perceived from other people, as one way and, give an opinion. My opinion is, yeah, you're not really that great. You know what I'm saying? You lost a lot of times in the finals. You got some smudges on your records now. You do great things outside of basketball. He does social activism. Opening up charter schools. Production. He's in music. He's in fashion. He does a lot of things, man. He's on his way to a billionaire. That's a fact. He's on his way to a billionaire. And to be so young and successful, it's cool, man. To be black and do all these things is cool because, once again, at the end of the day, we got a lot of strikes and smudges on us, and we're not supposed to make it. We're not really supposed to do too much. But at the end of the day, even his transition from Cleveland, to LA, that's historical. That's historical. Whether they win or lose, it's still historical that he has that much heart and guts to be able to remake some of the Miami Taking My Talent thing, part two, and go out there in LA and help these young guys, man. Now, mind you, it's going to be frustrating because a lot of these guys are still learning their game. They're still learning their individuality. They're still learning how to be creative. They're still learning how to not be selfish. And they're still learning how to, win. You know what I mean? Which is hard to believe because these guys have been winners all their life, man. From high school, college, they've been, did a lot of winning. But to win in the NBA and then still play the limelight and be a part of a brand such as the Los Angeles Lakers and be a part of a business such as the NBA is very, very hard to do. And it takes guys a long time, man. You better ask Charles Barkley. He was never, never a good professional. Never. The things that he did and said was just crazy. He lost wild money not being a professional, but he can play ball. He was not, the most athletic person, but he knew how to use his mind on the court. He didn't use his mind off the court. That's why he's not, he's in a stagnant position in life. That's my opinion on Chuck. Shout out to you, Chuck, but whatever. But LeBron is great in other things in life, man. Single mom, grew up in the projects, bounced around. He made a way. He had a lot of help. He made a way. He used the tools that was in front of him, and he kept pushing. And people, he had support. Look at his team. He had a lot of good supporters. But so he's great in that aspect. But greater than who? Michael Jeffrey Jordan? Nah, man. Never. I'm still watching old clips from 91 Bulls. I'm still watching the 92 Bulls. I'm still watching the 95, 96 playoffs between them and Orlando Magic. A lot of these games is historic, man. The command and respect that he had on that court was ridiculous. He beat you literally before you even got on the court because it was a mental game. You hear stories about him taking Charles Barkley to the Michael Jordan restaurant, in 93 during the NBA Finals. And you say, well, why would he do that? You know what I'm saying? And Mike looks at it, with his charismatic smile and his scheme and his plot and his ploy. And he lets him know, hey, we're friends at the end of the day. This is just a game. And Chuck is, he's stupid enough to go for the okie doke. Like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go have some steaks and drink some beer, and Mike ain't even drink. He's just looking at him and sizing up his enemy. You know, I like to think that LeBron James did that once upon a time with Kevin Durant. During the lockout, well, actually coming back from the lockout after they lost to they lost to the Mavs. LeBron saw Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City coming. He seen them getting good. He seen that they was going to be the test. He knew that they was going to be the test out west. I mean, he sized up the opponent and the enemy by having Kevin Durant come with him to play in some tournament games, and he was playing flag football, working out with him. He's showing them all his post moves. Miami makes it to the finals. Oklahoma City makes it to the finals. Who guards Kevin Durant? LeBron James. Every move that Kevin Durant did, LeBron was already right there waiting for him. Not only was he waiting for him on defense, but on offense, he punished him. Punished him. That's why you see now in the finals, Kevin Durant, he's in court speed. He's learning how to be a pro. He's separating personal, right, from court situations, meaning there's no friends when we get on this court. You see how him and Westbrook is. People like to think him and Westbrook are enemies only on the court. Personally, they don't have to deal with each other. I mean, they dealt with each other for years, so they already made camaraderie. But Kevin Durant is caught up to speed in the eyes of, you know what? Every time I play this dude, I'm going to kill him because that first championship, it really hurt. So you see those threes he shoot LeBron's face during the finals. That means something. It's deep. It's way deeper. And LeBron's just looking at it like, man, I'm just here so I don't get fined. It's nothing. I know y'all going to beat us, but at least I'm here. I'm not going to cower it out. I'm going to give my best. I can't speak on J.R. Smith and everybody else. You know what I mean? But, again, if that man feels like he's great, let him be great. But watch how you word it, though, Mr. James. I mean, you cannot disrespect Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Because if it was not for him, I don't want to, just like if it wasn't for Bill Russell, Dr. J, it wouldn't have been no Jordan. If it wasn't for Jordan, it wouldn't have been no Iversons, no T-Macs. Definitely wouldn't have been no Kobe's. He set so many different path marks, not just with his scoring, but the off the court, his style, his persona, his brand, his imagery. Wearing, his shorts was lower. I mean, he brought so much to the game that is ridiculous. Confidence, cockiness. I mean, the way he moved, it was just like a man amongst boys, man. He brought so much to the game, so you cannot overshadow him. And not only did he bring so much to the game, 6-0 in the finals with 6 finals MVP is hard to do, man. Knowing that if you win a championship this year, next year is going to be so many teams, players, and everybody, gunning for you to beat you or either be like you or be better at what you're doing than you are. So it's very hard to repeat, 3 in a row. You don't really see that no more. I mean, Golden State has an opportunity to do it this year, but they're dealing with so much, behind the court issues. Just like the 98 Bulls, they was dealing with a lot too. Between Scotty, between Michael, Dennis running off. I mean, Phil Jackson, his last stand, last ride, whatever, last dance, whatever you want to call it. Everybody versus management. But Phil was so smart with his wits that it was easy to calm them down. And that's some of the things that Steve Kerr is lacking. That's how you know he's not really a coach. He's more of a manager. These guys coach themselves. They don't really need him. Goddamn, Luke Walton was coaching. He won 33 straight games and some weird shit like that. So it's not about the coaching with these guys. It's just pure talent on the court nowadays. You know what I mean? It's very little professionalism, but it's a lot of talent. You know what I mean? Meaning that the NBA is pushing these guys to score, pushing them to be athletic, pushing them to run up and down the court. But they're not molding these guys to brand themselves because they don't give a fuck about your brand. That's individuality. And that's where LeBron James is great at. And this is your boy, you know what I mean, the number one sports reporter that you never heard of. But I'm going to be dropping gems, dropping jewels. So tune in. Holla at me. Subscribe. Like. Comment. Let's go. Let's talk. You know sports. So do I. Hit me. Your boy.